What is going on, world? What's up, everyone? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new Starcraft 2 video. This one is coming from the WCS Pro circuit, spawning here in the bottom right-hand corner of Catalyst LE, playing with the red Protoss pieces. He's currently tied with his opponent and wants to keep this series rolling in his favor. His name is Neeb. And his opponent spawning in the cross position, playing with the blue Zerg pieces. He currently tied up the series, wants to keep this series rolling in his favor. His name is none other than Elazer. So guys and girls, this series so far has been absolutely awesome. We had game number 1, which felt heavily dominated and very well played by Neeb, and then game number 2 was a beautiful timing push by Elazer, which evened up the score. So now let's see what ends up happening here in game number 3. I think these two players obviously have played against each other a lot. They've studied each other's replays and VODs. I think the big question that remains now is how do both of these players end up playing game number 3, and especially Neeb. What does he do in game number 3 to respond to Elazer tying this series up, which was played at the WCS in Leipzig, a best of 5, and it is the quarterfinals, or one of the quarterfinals of that tournament. So of course, if you win this tournament, this best of 5 series, you move on to, of course, the semifinals with an opportunity to move on to the grand finals of the tournament. That said, let's see what both our players are deciding to do here in this game number 3. It seems like we're going to see Neeb go for the gateway into the Nexus, and then of course follow that up with a cybernetics core. And it seems like Elazer is going to go for that hatch gas pool opener, very, very standard, of course, to say the least. And pretty standard by both of these players so far. I'm just kind of wondering if we're going to see any kind of cheese at all in this series, or there's going to be any more significant timing pushes in this game. Should be interesting. We'll have to keep our eyes open for that. It does look like Elazer is going to go ahead and get the Zergling speed upgrade going, which of course is the most standard upgrade for a Zerg player. We are going to also see the tech of choice coming out of Neeb as far as a Stargate. And then we're also going to see that followed up by the Warp Gate research, which is the most standard upgrade for the Protoss units. Third base is coming in now for Elazer. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and, instead of going for any type of significant aggression early on in the game, he's deciding to instead go for a little bit of some, try to get that macro game moving and try to kind of get his economy booming earlier on in this game. Both players seem to have given each other a good amount of respect in the first couple of games at least. There was, of course, that timing push by Elazer that was absolutely on point. But overall, these players know what the other is capable of, and most certainly, both these players can be forces to be reckoned with, and you got to be very, very careful when you are playing either one of these players. They are absolutely, they could absolutely destroy your army in a matter of seconds if you're not careful. Some of those it looks like an Oracle is going to be coming out of that Stargate for Neeb, and then we're also going to see a Phoenix follow-up there. Another gateway is going to be coming in, or I should say another couple of gateways are going to be following this up very early on. You know, surprisingly enough, in the first couple of games, the one thing that I have not seen Elazer do is get those evolution chambers out relatively early to start getting his upgrades going for his unit composition. And it definitely worked out in game number 2, but I wonder, that's definitely something that we are going to have to keep our eyes on as this series progresses. It looks like the layer is going to be morphed in here, so it looks as if Elazer wants to go ahead and start getting those higher tier layer units relatively sooner than later. Roach Warren is also going to be followed up for Elazer. So he's going for a very similar build as to what he did in game number 2, at least at this point in the game. We got more and more adepts that are going to be coming out for Neeb. So it looks like both these players are actually kind of going for relatively similar builds to what they did in game number 2. A couple of these oracles are out. They're going to try to snipe one of these queens. Are they going to be able to get that queen? It does not look like they will. They are gonna scout, though, the timing of this lair, which is definitely going to be helpful for Neeb. Neeb also is going to go for a third nexus at this point in the game. Some of these Zerglings are going to start moving across the map. There are more and more. There are a few oracles out, as well as a phoenix, so we'll have to keep our eyes open on that to see if they're going to try to do give any kind of aggression. Looks like that's exactly what's going to be the case. They are going to go right after that mineral line. The beautiful pickup on that queen, and all of these oracles are going to try to do a lot of damage. They are getting some good kills in. Beautiful play. Actually got away without getting without losing any of those oracles. Absolutely brilliant play here by Neeb so far early on in this game. Mass revelation on a lot of these units. Very helpful. Really keeps really helps a Protoss player keep tabs on what's going on. Glad Reconstitution is being researched for Elazer as well, and the resonating glaives is going to be finishing up in less than 10 seconds for Neeb. A lot of Zerglings are moving across the map, though, going after that third base location, getting a few kills. I shouldn't say a lot of kills, but getting some probe kills is definitely what Elazer needs at this point. Trying to build up that economy and start building up that force at this point in the game. So, Glad Reconstitution is just now finishing up. The Zerglings, we'll have to see if there's going to be some run-bys. Neeb has surprisingly gone for a lot of those, a lot of adepts, surprisingly enough. And it looks like they are going to try to get those kills. But once again, Neeb, or Elazer, is getting, a few kills here, a few kills there on some of those probes. And that is, those can add up in the long run and do a lot of damage if you are not careful. So here we go. It looks like we've got adepts as well as some sentries, and then of course an immortal is out as well. So something that we'll definitely, will most certainly have to keep our eyes open on moving forward is the unit compositions by both these players. A little sloppy play there by Neeb, losing that Phoenix for practically free there. But I gotta say, I'm liking the position, though, of Neeb. Neeb is in a good position simply because he is on 3 bases. And now the fourth hatchery's just going down for Elazer. So he's got a little bit of a better economy at this point. Going back and trying to get a lot of kills on some of these drones. That really hurts. Beautiful play there by Neeb. Once again, getting some kills out of those oracles. Now it does look like Elazer, he's going ahead. He's got the Hydras, Roaches, as well as those Ravagers in. And so it looks like he's going to go for another Zergling run-by. And I do like the Zergling run-bys, generally speaking. I think that they can do a decent amount of damage for sure. Colossus is going to be coming in as well out of the robotics facility. But it does look like these Zerglings are once again going to try and do what they can to get some kills. They're going to move into the natural base location, going after a lot of these probes, and that's going to be helpful if he can get some more kills. And yes, he absolutely does. Very nicely played so far. And it looks like, really, the scouting information, if not anything else, he's getting some nice scouting information. There are a lot of Colossus coming out, though, for Neeb. Neeb is getting a lot of Colossus out. That revelation is keeping tabs on exactly what's going on. It looks like Neeb is planning on moving across the map, possibly, at this point in the game. The Colossus are coming. 2 are coming out at a time, and Neeb is kind of dictating the pace of this game, it feels like. Elazer, I think, needs to go for some more run-bys, because I think that's what's really helped him stay in this game at this point. But this small army of Elazer is going to be really pushed back simply because of the Colossus does such a good job. Extended Thermal Lance is going to be finishing up, which is those extended range on the Colossus. A very good upgrade, especially when you're planning on going for more and more Colossus. Blink is being researched as well for Neeb. And this is a pretty scary unit composition, I'm not going to lie. This is starting to get kind of scary. Elazer's going to have to figure out what he needs to do. And I think we are, of course, seeing that, there is, of course, one of one of these evolution chambers are out, but this is going to be very scary. This engagement right here could determine a lot of this game moving forward. Elazer is going to be nearing full supply, but these, of course, these Colossus are going to be able to shade away at a lot of these, at a ton of these lurkers at this point. But just like that, it does seem like a lot of these units are going to start moving onto creep, and that always makes me extremely nervous for our Protoss player. Just like that, though, a lot of these Colossus, once again with the extended range, are going to try to do a lot of damage, but once again, they're going a little bit far on creep again. Beautiful force fields are going to try to split up this army, and it looks like Neeb is starting to kind of, you know, catch back up with that supply, but I don't know if I really like that engagement, actually, by Neeb. It seemed like what he did was he pushed his Colossus up in front of his army so that he could maybe try to have a better range at getting some of these lurkers, but when you're on creep, a lot of the other units are very fast, and that's something that can be very, very deadly. And here we go. It does look like, once again, he's going to go on to creep, but this time, he looks like he does have enough units at this point. We are going to see some of those roaches as well as those hydras are going to start moving forward. It looks like Neeb very well might be trying to push this Zerg player back somewhat. I just don't like how far on creep he is, because these units can move so much faster. They're going to try to push him into a corner. He's going to jump on top of this army. He is trying to target fire down that Colossus, but more Colossus are starting to join the fight. Beautiful player by Neeb. Those Colossus are creating such a problem for Elazer, and just like that, Neeb is taking a substantial supply lead. Beautiful play here by Neeb. Absolutely getting more and more of those Colossus in has really helped so far in this fight. As he's continuing on to creep, the question is he going to overextend a little bit too much as he's moving forward with 3 of these Colossus far onto creep, trying to clear as much of this creep as possible, splitting up his army now at this point. One last push is, it looks like is what's going to come in now for Elazer, but these Colossus are doing so much damage. The drones are pulled off the line, and these Colossus are doing so much damage. Absolutely brilliant textbook play by Neeb. Is he overstaying his welcome? GG is called, and Elazer has to GG out, and Neeb continues onward with the aggression, and the beautiful Colossus switch is definitely what determined this game. I hope you guys did enjoy this game between Neeb and Elazer, and if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.